Thanks for tuning in to Koppen with Critic. I'm Brian Koppen. We're the critic, Callum McLean. Callum McLean, how the hell are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very cool. We follow him everywhere. It's pronounced McLean, but it's not. I mean, it's like John McLean, but it's spelled differently. So I'm going to spell out the website. It's Callum. Callum McLean is Mclean, uh, like M clean, Mr. Clean. Callum McLean, Mclean. Yeah, Callum McLean, not me. And so is this where you're usually posting your writing, or where can people find your criticism?
When I do so, it is indeed.
Oh, good, good. And then, what do you what sites are you normally writing for, or is it just kind of all over the place?
Super all over the place. Lately, more often on Under the Radar, and occasionally on some places over here in Amsterdam where I live.
Do you have anything to do with Under the Radar's playlists? Because they have these awesome playlists every week.
I do not. I have to admit, I've been kind of ignoring the many emails that come through from the website, so I'm rarely involved in any of their lists,
So do they kind
unfortunately.
of solicit, what are some songs you'd like on the list for this week?
Exactly, yeah,
Oh,
things
cool.
go around, and the more like with it people tend to jump on there, but I'm just a little bit too distracted and offline.
Oh, cool. Well, let's get what we're gonna have to get your because I do like the songs they choose, and so we'll have to see if I like the
Mhm.
songs you choose today because we're doing the Hall of Fame
All
face
right,
off
let's
where we
see.
each picked seven Hall of Fame artists and a song from each, and they're gonna face off. And I go first so that you can decide whether or not you want to pick a strong song or a weak song based on how strong you think my song is. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm going to serve up a sacrificial lamb in the form of Buddy Holly every day. What were you able to listen to the song? What did you think, and what song are you
Yeah.
going to be picking to face against it?
Ooh, okay. I'll start with my reaction or with my song to pick.
No, either. Either.
I did like this one. I mean, I think it's a great, defensible classic. I think my only issue with this song is just like how much it's been spoiled by being just like repeatedly used in advertising.
It's also
So like,
movies. I just kind of
yeah.
remember it in like Stand
Also,
By Me or something like
yeah.
that. It's a weird like I don't know why I picked this song by Buddy Holly. It didn't feel like there was 85,000 choices. Like I didn't love all of his music to the
Hmm.
point where I was
Hmm.
like, "Oh, this will be tough." So I picked this song and going back to it, I'm like, this is kind of a weird song, dude. I mean, it's good. It's just kind of weird. I mean, I'm not in love with Buddy Holly, are you?
I'm not a mega fan, but like I can appreciate this one for for its craft and its sort of like forward thinkingness. But yeah, I can't unhear the kind of like nostalgic sort of weird like advertising gloss that it has now.
But you're right. There is some good craft there, pop song craft, and I'm a big pop guy. So what are you going to choose to easily beat it?
Oof. Yeah, let me think about this one. I mean, we have quite a different list of songs, I should say, so there's not going to be like obvious connections between any of them.
Oh no,
I
and
feel
they don't have
like,
to be obvious. Just kind of like if you think you have a weak one that can easily beat Buddy Holly's every day, what is the weakest
oh,
song on
okay,
your
I
list?
see what you're saying.
The
A
weakest
weak
song
one.
on your list, which
Okay,
of course is all good
maybe
ones.
maybe a decent pairing with this would be Stevie Wonder, with Golden Lady. Only
Yes.
in the sense that they're both kind of like Sunday morning living room, sort of family friendly classics.
Yeah, tell me about this one. I think the intro is just some the intro is kind of maybe it was the transition between, one song and the next song on the album, but the intro was just kind of seemingly unrelated and just kind of boring. But also it's just like
Yeah.
Golden Lady, the hook was not as strong as some of his other hooks. So what is your experience with this song and why do you like it?
I mean, it was really hard to pick a Stevie song. I think I went for this one because it's on Innovisions, and I feel like actually for me the experience of Golden Lady is like essentially listening to it with the record, and you've already heard "Living for the City," this
Ah.
super long political kind of about as angry as Stevie Wonder gets, and then you have this just like like syrupy sweet kind of love song like many of his others, and I just feel like it really hits that sweet spot at that point in the album.
You're like, I need a
But
palate cleanser. Thank God for
yeah,
Golden Lady.
yeah, and I don't know, there's something about the sort of just innocence and sort of sweetness of it, especially in that context, that I find very touching. But it could have just as easily been As or so many other songs from the sort of classic Stevie Wonder albums.
But I love that that's your experience with it. You're just like, there was a big, awesome song, but it was super long and super political, and I was ready for anything else, and here it was. So
Oh, I
that
mean,
that's
I love Living for the City, but it's just I like the kind of contrast.
yeah. You're like, well, he can do two things. That's great. I
Yeah.
mean, he can do just funky as hell, and he could do the sweet and
Hmm.
saccharine, so that's good.
Yeah.
What's your next song that you're going to talk about?
Ooh, I think I'm just gonna go straight in with Kraftwerk.
Yeah, this
This
one. Yeah, talk
this
about this one
was
because yeah, my experience with well, let me tell you when I faced off against it because this one's something. I'll pick LL Cool J Around the Way Girl.
okay,
Okay, now
okay.
Kraftwerk I've only heard about as being some, groundbreaking, innovative artist,
Hmm.
and I haven't listened to it. And then I listened to this one and I was like, uh, it's very simple and minimal, and it doesn't seem groundbreaking to me, but that's because I probably have listened to all the music that it influenced. So tell me about
Hmm.
what do you think about Kraftwerk? What do you think about this song? And did it innovate at the time, or
Sure.
is it just a good song?
Yeah, I mean, I think I have to give some context here, which is that, like, despite this being the entire premise of your show, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame isn't something that I like particularly, I don't know, feel much affinity for.
Oh, right,
And my
right.
kind of first experience when I went into research for this show was like, oh my God, so many of my favorite artists are not on
Oh,
the
yeah.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And one of the first ones that I was like, they have to be here, and they were, especially in the sort of electronic music world, was Kraftwerk. And so, if you're going to pick a sort of like extremely influential artist for electronic dance music, Kraftwerk is right up there.
And this might be
Um,
was this in the influencer category or the performer category? Do you remember?
ooh, I'm sorry, I don't
Okay.
remember.
But no, I do like electronic music. And so, who did they influence and was this song groundbreaking or were they just groundbreaking?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the sort of the most famous influences are on, well, hip hop via, I guess, electro, and then techno, of course. So it's kind of like this crossover from Europe to the US,
Oh,
and
cool.
all of those influences on that really early electronic dance music and hip hop kind of happening at the same time. So it's nice that you paired with LL Cool J because there's definitely a line that you can draw between the two of them.
Oh, cool. I had no idea. But yeah,
Mhm.
over here in America, if it makes it here, that it's good to know that it was kind of influenced by Kraftwerk, probably.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the Detroit guys were super into Kraftwerk.
And who came out of Detroit?
Basic Channel, sort of like all these like really original techno artists, and I think kind of like even if you're not super into that early techno, those were kind of like the key figureheads for all the bigger artists that came later in the
Oh,
90s.
cool.
And yeah.
See, this I learn something new every day, and this is why I have critics. I have real critics on here because they know this sort of stuff. And so, what
Mhm.
about Home Computer? Was it innovative, or do you just like the song? And if you just like the song, why?
I mean, I mostly just really like the song and this whole record. But there's some samples in here which you will hear all over the place, especially in electronic music, especially this sort of like ascending arpeggio.
Oh,
But I just find it kind of like, for me, has all the stuff that I like about Kraftwerk, especially if you pair it with the track that I got confused with earlier when I sent these tracks over. It's kind of like a two-hander. You have this track and also It's More Fun to Compute, and they both have a lot of shared sounds, and you kind of have everything you want from Kraftwerk, which is like the sort of robot voices and these kind of very weird sort of retro futuristic synthesizer noises, and then these just like really big hooks, like sort of keyboard hooks, and like all those things together I just find completely magical.
and all those things are very important. Like, if I listen to something like Crystal Castles, which I like a lot,
Hmm.
you do need effects treated vocals, and you do
Oh yeah.
need big hooks, and you do need synth. Like the synthesizer is very
Hmm.
important.
Hmm.
Like those sounds. I mean, the sounds that come out of that guy's keyboard. I know he's kind of canceled now, but Crystal Castles was my jam for a while.
Oh yeah.
But okay, so let me do. Yeah, what do you think about LL Cool J's "Around the Way Girl"?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm not a huge LL Cool J fan. In general, like hip hop's probably like my Achilles heel. I do listen to hip hop, but I'm like no scholar on it at all. But yeah, I really liked the bass line.
Oh, there you go. I don't even know if it was original. I don't know if they were sampling back then. I did like the production on it, and I'm not a huge LL Cool J fan. And I think I'll say that Rock and Roll Hall of, if you were a hip hop scholar, you probably are not listening to a lot of hip hop artists from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I
like
mean,
I'm not like I don't think LL Cool J's catalog is that deep or that magical, and the song is just one thing I liked about the song is he kind of mentioned some girls, Lisa, Angela, Pamela, Renee. And it reminded me of the DMX song where he just listed all these songs of maybe girls he slept with or something, and the names were very interesting and things. But then there was like at least three Kims, he said, and I was like, "What? Like you're getting with girls named Kim?" And I thought I heard like a Karen, and I'm like, "Man, he's really laying pipe." Um, but yeah, so and as far as this being like a rock and roll Hall of Fame thing, this was just a way to kind of get like, all you critics or all critics kind of, are deep diving all these wonderful artists. And
Hmm.
so the next one is actually going to be not, it's going to be Hall of Fame level songs from non-Hall of Fame artists.
Hmm.
And you're going to put forth maybe 10 or five, like whoever participates, and then I'm going to, decide whether or not they're good
Hmm.
enough to be a Hall of Fame song. But
Ooh,
this was just
okay.
kind of like, I can't play right in your game, man. You're going to pick all these Kraftwerk Detroit influencers, and I'd be like, I can't talk well about ascending arpeggios. But yeah, so that's that's LL Cool J, Kraftwerk. Let me. Who was picking one? You picked one. I picked one. Yeah, it's my turn. Let me go. Bruce Springsteen, 10th Avenue Freeze Out. What are you going to face against it? And what do you think of the song?
Ooh, okay. I think I'll go with Gil Scott-Heron in response to this one.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Uh,
kind of, why'd you
why don't
pick?
you
Why'd
start?
you pick the song, and what did you think about the Bruce song?
So, full disclosure, like Bruce isn't my bag. And
Same,
I fully
same.
appreciate that. Along with Bruce, a lot of these kinds of like rock, like American troubadours. It's something that's always turned me off. And it's a reason why a lot of the Hall of Fame artists just don't really do it for me.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I
Same.
th yeah, I mean, I think in general, I know that Bruce has a huge fan base in Europe and the UK, but like I feel like less so, and for a lot of people yeah, there's something kind of macho about it that just doesn't really like work for us. But I admire him. I just like, and he's obviously like a force to be reckoned with. But I just kind of can't get too into his actual music
Oh
personally.
yeah, oh yeah, and this is gonna piss everybody off, but it's just like
Oh
Bruce
yeah.
Springsteen, not for me, but I just know people close to me who are, one of the people they just love, is
Hmm.
just like Bruce. And so I think if you like Bruce, you probably love him. And I just kind of stumbled upon this song as one that was actually good.
Hmm.
Like it was
Hmm.
actually, I don't know, kind of funky, and it just made sense to me. Whereas everything else, all the anthems are just like, yeah, gross. And so yeah, and then Gil Scott-Heron, New York is killing me. It's real funky. It's I like the
Hmm.
percussive beginning, or at least it might be percussive throughout. And it reminds me, didn't LCD Sound System have something about New York, I love you, but you're wearing me
Mm.
down or
Oh
something?
yeah, yeah,
And they mentioned them in Losing My Edge, Gil Scott-Heron. So
yeah,
yeah, so
yeah.
what do you yeah, what's your thing about Gil Scott-Heron? I think I like his spoken word stuff too.
Hmm.
Why'd you pick New York is Killing Me?
Well, I picked Gil Scott-Heron in response to Bruce because I think they're like very interesting, like sort of counterpoints of, let's say, like
The
storied American musical storytellers.
and this the
Um,
opposite of macho, maybe?
yeah, I mean, he's got a certain macho to him, but I mean, he's got this sort of like guru kind of like wise. Well, he did have this sort of wizened kind of like authenticity to him, and obviously the sort of '70s Gil Scott Heron. You have The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. You know, really outspoken politically, and then you had this comeback record in what was it like 2009 or something? This track came out, I think,
Yeah,
and it's a
was
very
it was
weird.
almost posthumous. I don't know if it was or posthumous. I don't know if it was released posthumously,
It
but yeah, they were
was
like,
his
this is his.
last release.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm not sure if it came out before or after he died, but he definitely died like very around this time.
what a
And yeah, I don't
document.
know.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, it was exactly, and it was this kind of very interesting presentation of this like legend and the sort of mystique of the life that he'd lived from this very British perspective. It was produced by I can't remember his name, the guy who used to run XL Records, and it was reworked by Jamie XX in
Yeah,
the
I was like,
UK, which was one of
which
my
version
favorite
did you like? I
records.
think when you picked this, I think I typed it in, and the Jamie XX version came up.
Oof, I really like both of them a lot. And I'm not even a massive Jamie XX fan, although I was back in the day. But there's something about both the original of this comeback record and the Jamie XX version, which I just find a really interesting kind of, yeah, putting Gil Scott-Heron into this very contemporary context as this kind of, yeah, like a sort of living legend, a sort of a living, breathing relic of a sort of different time and someone with so much experience.
It's almost like he's a badass without having to be macho.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
being a badass isn't necessarily macho, but it's just like, if somebody's just macho, you're kind of like, that doesn't make you badass. Just be a badass, and then people will think that's manly. Okay, next song on your list.
Next song, let's go with Tom Waits, Anywhere I Lay My Head.
Yeah, Tom Waits, and I'll put against that. Well, let's go James Brown. It's a man's world
Mhm.
live. Any live version will do. Yeah, anywhere. I love Tom Waits. I love his harsh shit. I love mule variations. I love Filipino box spring hog.
Mm.
One of the harshest yet poppy things. Where anywhere I lay my head is just like, man, I didn't think it could get harsher than Filipino box spring hog, and it does. And it's like it's almost. I don't think I would listen to it over and over again because it seems to be a mismatch. Like Filipino box spring hog is it's a harsh kind of rollicking song where the music fits that
Mm.
harshness. Whereas here, I don't know that the music fits how harsh he is on this.
Yeah, exactly. I think part of the reason I picked it is because you get the Tom Waits harshness and the kind of like romance of Tom Waits. And I mean, he had this record called what was it called again? Brawlers, Ballers, and Bastards, right? And
Okay.
as sort of split into these different categories of songs that he often does. These kind of like bluesy, sort of rocking songs. The Ballers, where he's kind of yeah, these melancholic, like romantic ballads, and then he had these sort of spoken word, kind of rough edge tracks where he gets the grizzled voice out. And I feel like this one kind of covers all those bases. It's got the romance, it's got the sort of sadness, but it's he's doing that Tom Waits growl.
Yeah,
Um,
gosh.
yeah, and
And
it's also
is that a good idea? I mean, it
I
makes him,
think it works for me.
it like boils the album you mentioned into one song, but is that a
Mhm.
good thing?
I mean, it's. I have to say, it's not my favorite Tom Waits song. I think I picked it more as a kind of like nice cross section of things that I like about Tom Waits, and also because it's the last track on. Oh my God,
Was
I
it
forgot the name of the
was it Rain Dogs? I
record.
think I
Rain
saw
Dogs,
Rain
yeah,
Dogs, right? Yeah.
yeah. And like I typically really like the closing tracks on Tom Waits albums, and this is one of the better ones. I think I also really like Closing Time and Rainbirds. So yeah, it's just kind of representing the things that I like about Tom Waits. This kind of yeah, whiskey soaked, vaudeville kind of like vagabond persona that he has.
Yeah, if I saw him in concert playing piano and singing this song just at like a little club, I'd just be knocked out. I mean, I just would be so impressed by it. Like, how can a man be so beautiful and just so fucking how can a man who sings that way be
Hmm.
so kind of romantically inclined? I think Come On Up to the House was a song on Mule Variations. It might actually be the
Mm,
last song where it's kind of similar, where it's
mm.
pretty, but it's also harsh. And I think it works a little bit better. What do you think of James Brown? It's a Man's World live.
I love James Brown. This was one of your, I think this was your only artist that I would have almost picked. And in fact, I think I long listed James Brown, but I would have picked something funkier. I mean, this is a classic, obviously, but like, I think for me, I like The Payback. I like Funky President. I like all these like just deeply funky James Brown classics. This one, it's a funny one in James Brown's catalog, and it just makes me think a little bit of how much he kind of disappointed a lot of his fans politically. And I think I read a little bit about it that he maybe like did he get sued by one of the co-writers who used to be a girlfriend of his or something?
So it's written by a woman. But
Yeah,
like
I believe
you were
so.
like funky, you were like funky president, what he's known for. And I'm like, dude, these are cuts I'm gonna have to go listen to because I don't know if I've ever heard it. But yeah, like and all these artists that I picked, it's like I'm picking new artists every episode. So
Mm.
these are not, I don't really like Bruce Springsteen. The Buddy Holly one's weird. And so like I'm not picking these because I love these people or these songs. It's just like I have to pick new people every episode. But yeah, James Brown, it's Man's World. I like it. Like some of the other one, like Sex Machine and stuff,
Yeah.
just some of those songs can be longer.
Hmm.
And it's just like I'm kind of a pop guy. And so normally
Hmm.
like long songs can't sustain the excellence. But we're moving. We got 7 more minutes left. We have a couple more songs.
Let's
I'll
do
do
it.
Lovin' Spoonful, Daydream. And what are you going to match up against it?
Okay, let's go with Bowie. Sound of Vision.
Yeah, my Lord, like Bowie's amazing and people have picked him and I've picked him. Sound and Vision, though, it seems like, it's good. It's a good, the music is good, but 2 out of 3 minutes is like has no vocals.
Yeah, I mean
So how can
that's
you
the
pick this
Berlin
as a
trilogy.
Bowie song?
Well, something you might have noticed about me, I'm not a big lyrics guy.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
neither am I, but
so
like vocally, that's why we go to Bowie, right?
We do get the vocals. I mean, there's a lot of tracks on this record with no vocals or just him howling in a made-up language, as we get later on in the album. But like, no, I don't know. For me, this is kind of like the perfect midpoint of these Berlin Trilogy albums, where it's like it's a pop record, but it's also pretty weird. You have all that Brian Eno, Tony Visconti kind of crazy production, which is what for me kind of draws me to these albums. But you still have Bowie being like, let's say like a bit of a silly pop star on this one. Like the vocals of like the lyrics are very silly. Despite the kind
You're a
of
production guy. Do you like Hot
I'm a
Chip?
production guy.
Do you like
I
Hot
like Hot
Chip?
Chip. Yeah, I like Hot Chip
Because
plenty.
I
Yeah.
I always thought it was like sonically one of the more interesting, or I don't know, it was like sonically excellent. What do you think about the production of Hot Chip?
Yeah, it's solid. Joe Goddard does a great job on all of his stuff. I really liked the Two Bears, one of his side projects. But I mean, it's quite like straightforward, I guess.
Okay.
But yeah, I like them a lot. They're a great live band as well.
Yeah, no, I'm always watching those videos. Yeah, David Bowie, Sound and Vision. Um, what do you think of Lovin' Spoonful, Daydream?
I have to say, this was my least favorite track that you
I,
that you
I think I
picked.
was also just like, well, I want to look at Lovin' Spoonful's catalog to see if there's anything there, and I think this was the only there, which is not to say that it's a
I
great
have
song.
to be honest, I had never heard of this band.
Oh yeah, I'm
Like,
just going through the Hall of Fame thing and be like, oh, I haven't heard that one. I haven't heard Ruth Brown, or let me go look up Ruth Brown's catalog and see if there's a good one. Yeah, so Lovin' Spoonful's Daydream was probably the only one that stuck out. Stuck out.
yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of filed this, well, not quite exactly the same era, but like along with the Dave Clark 5 track that you brought in, that they're both kind of bands of the 60s that sort of steadfastly ignored the psychedelic sort of shift.
Yeah.
And I mean, fair enough, but also why? I just find that stuff much more interesting. Like I'm definitely a late Beatles guy. Yeah, so this didn't really do it for me, but I'm curious to hear your experience with this one.
Yeah, not much. I mean, I think it's poppy, which is more than you could say for the other songs of theirs I've heard. I think they were mentioned in the another song I recently did was Mamas and the Papas, Cheek Alley. Have you heard of that one?
Ah, no, I only remember the classic Mamas and Papas records.
Yeah, so they were a little bit psychedelic, which is why I mentioned
Mm,
it. But
hmm
they mentioned a Lovin' Spoonful thing. But there's a
mm,
line in the recorded version of that one that says, "Everyone's no one's getting fat except Mama Cass," and that's why my song didn't win because it's got that shitty lyric. But
Oh no.
live they sung it the other way. They sang it,
Mm,
"Everyone's getting fat except Mama Cass," and so I was like, "Oh, well, that's pretty cool." But they mentioned a Lovin' Spoonful guitarist, I think.
mm.
So yeah, I got nothing great to say about Daydream except that it's good for pop, and I think that it's a difference between me and you. I mean, I don't listen to lyrics either, but you are a late Beatles guy and I'm
Oh
an early
yeah.
Beatles guy, and so it's pop versus
Ah.
non-pop, right? Like you
It's
like
still
things that
pop.
you like things that are you like things that are sonically interesting, probably,
Oh
even if
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
12-minute song or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that kind of brings up Donna's number, "I Feel Love," which is
Okay,
one of your
okay.
songs, and I will match it up against Dave Clark Five's "Glad All Over," just because one is pop. And
Oh
and
wow.
what version of Donna Summer's "I Feel Love" did he do? Because on my playlist, that Donna Summer song is 8 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, that should be the version. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's 8 minutes, and it's what basically two parts of the song.
Yeah. So can it
And
sustain that excellence? Or is just like you have to be, I don't know, kind of high and dancing a lot to enjoy that song?
I don't think you have to be high and dancing a lot, but getting high and dancing a lot is clearly the key thing here, right? Which is that this is the song that like basically kickstarted electronic dance music, right? Like
Oh,
it's I mean it's another hugely influential track, but I just mean like this has everything that I want from like a sort of psychedelic, deep electronic music track plus Donna Summer, which is just like, I mean, I don't think you get any better than that. I mean, I can listen to this on a loop. It's like sometimes you get these kinds of grooves and melodies in music that I effectively think you could just loop forever and I wouldn't get tired of them. And this is the one for me.
but I like that you mentioned that it's psychedelic because it does seem to be like the "I Feel Lovely." It's just like, first of all, it's really hooky and it's great, but
Mhm.
it's somehow psychedelic. Like,
Oh
what did
yeah.
they do with the production or the way it was sung to make it feel that way?
I mean, it's this kind of like repeating synth line, and these constant key changes. It just feels like it's ever shifting, but always the same thing at the same time. And then you have Donna Summer kind of just like smooth over the top of it, soaring vocals. I don't know. There's just something. It doesn't make sense. It's almost like it defies the laws of physics that it's always going up. It's
Yeah, so
always
you're
going
saying
up.
shifting keys and things. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So that's how they were kind of able to sustain it for 8 minutes.
Hmm.
Wow, good. You're a Donna Summer fan.
No, I mean,
No,
there's this and Love to Love You, Baby, basically, right? Like, and that's basic. She obviously has other songs, but like these are the two hits, and beyond that, I'm good. I don't need any more Donna Summer. How
that's
could you need
psychedelic
more
too.
Donna
Love to
Summer
Love You
after
is really
this?
psychedelic too,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah. Especially like
Weird.
the full track, which is like something ridiculous, and it just has like a massive orgasm in the middle of the track, basically.
Love it. DMX laying pipe and Donna Summer's orgasm are both on this episode, which is going to be great. So the last two songs and the last minute we have is Talking Head Cities, which I'd never
Mhm.
heard, and Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Learning to Fly. What did you think of the Tom Petty song, and why did you choose the Talking Head City song?
I like the Tom Petty song. He's not someone that I've dug deep into. The only Tom Petty track that I really remember is it's from the GTA San Andreas soundtrack, um,
What
and
what
it's
what
one of
made
my
it on
favorite
GTA
songs.
San Andreas, which is a great game?
Yeah, I can't even remember what station it is. It's not the sort of alternative rock station. It's I guess the classic rock station
Oh, there's
station.
stations on there. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even remember the name. Oh, Running Down a Dream. That's the track.
Oh, that's a good one. That's got a great
Yeah, I
riff.
really like that one.
And
A
this
bit
one
better
is
than
just
this one.
decidedly different. It's very I think it's kind of lush. I like I
Hmm.
don't know, the acoustic. I mean, it's not my favorite song. I don't know why I picked it, but it's a good song. And
I
yeah, so and also what do you think about Talking Head Cities too? Like why'd you pick this one?
I mean, yeah, they're pretty different. I think what I liked about your Tom Petty track is that it's this sort of like, he has this sort of, let's say, 70s, 80s feel, and then you had this late career, like 90s production on this
Yeah.
track, and there's something interesting about it. It reminds me of like latter day Fleetwood Mac as well. It's kind of like, almost doesn't fit, but then something kind of works about this sort of very smooth sound, but like
Yeah, it's
sort of
smooth. The sound is
grizzled.
smooth. You're right.
Yeah. Whereas, I mean, obviously, this Talking Heads track. So this is back on Remaining Light. It's before they get like a bit more poppy in the later records, and I guess this is sort of the sweet spot for me. Like when it's still very weird and angular and angsty, but it's got a groove. It's got a real groove. This song, and I like that kind of nervous groove that they have.
A nervous
Even
groove. I'm gonna have
yeah,
to re-listen
yeah.
to it with that in mind. That's great. Like, and isn't one of the lyrics just give me a city to live in. He's like, I'll live in any city. I know you're not a lyrics guy, but what lyrically kind of did you like? What is the song about? I guess is the simple question.
I have no idea.
Good. You're
I
good. You're
didn't
like
do my
me. I have
homework on
no
this one,
idea.
to be honest. Yeah, it's just something about the sort of the David Byrne freaking out, like deep groove. I just like the feel. Yeah, I can't say anything deeper than that.
I love that. I'm gonna have to listen to the groove. I know nothing about groove. Like somebody like I think the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they auditioned Buckethead as a guitarist, and Buckethead is just a technical virtuoso who was ultimately
Mhm.
Guns N' Roses. Um, but they didn't want him because he couldn't kick a groove. And I'm like, first of all, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. Like he can play whatever he wants to play, and he'll be as good as Frusciante or whoever. But I was like, what the fuck is a groove? I'm just never very clear. So I'm gonna listen to Talking Heads Cities, and I'll know that Callum McLean told me that has a groove. And I like us are sending ascending arpeggios, and I'm like, all these things I'm gonna have to re-listen to, and that's why we follow Callum McLean. It's Callum McLean.me. That's the website, and it sounds like you might be able to find some of his writing on Under the Radar, but he has nothing to do with playlists, so don't hold him responsible for those. Callum McLean, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks so much, Brian.